University of Texas. And we are now officially recording, everybody. My name is Dale Price. I'm the founder and CEO for Access College America. We're an Austin based college planning agency. We are deeply rooted in the high schools. I'm going to give a shout out to Westlake, Go Shaps, Warrior Nation, Westwood, we see you, Lhasa, Lake Travis, Go Cavs. You guys, these are just some of the high schools we work at, but we've been in Austin for over 8 years. We understand the competition, we understand these high schools, and it's a great place. The other cool thing about us is that we are STEM pros. We really focus on those applications, heavy math, heavy science, business, computer science, anything in engineering, pre-med, pre-vet. This is our tea. This is what we sip on all the time. So if you are interested in applying to a STEM major and you're Austin, even if you're not in Austin, but we'd love for you to consider us. Melissa, who I am always thrilled to co-present with and actually has breaking news. We'll get to that in a second. But Melissa, would you like to say a few words?
Sure, thanks, Dale. Hello, everybody. Thank you for spending a little bit of your evening with us. Yes, I got a little insider information to share with you guys tonight. You did a little screen sharing. We have lots of great questions that you guys have sent our way. But I'm Melissa Wood. I am an Access College America college consultant director. Just means I've been doing this for a hot second. I'm 25 years in education, 18 years in the college and academic career advising realm, if you will. And like Dale said, working with all of the schools and the districts in Central Texas, that's like kind of that's our bread and butter, right? We know, we understand, we get the transcripts, we know what types of opportunities are available to you. And you guys, like I said, sent us some really good questions about how do I get started? Like, I'm going into senior year and I'm like, I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to focus on. We're gonna talk about that tonight. So I'm super excited to be here with you guys and share a little bit of insight.
Melissa is wonderful, you guys. She's definitely a heavy hitter within the organization. 20 years, you guys. 20 years. I literally go to her if I have questions. I'm just letting y'all know. I am privileged to have her on staff. We're going to cover a lot of topics. These are often rapid fire Q&As. We have a lot of questions that we're going to cover. I have a feeling we're going to cover your questions as well. So I know that many of you guys emailed questions. When you registered, you submitted questions. We have been receiving them via text as well. So interact with us. Go ahead and put the questions if you have them in a Q&A box, but we're going to discuss the timeline. We'll discuss some pro tips. We'll discuss the common application. We'll take your questions and so forth. So we're just going to go ahead and dive right into it, though. Melissa, what do people need to know, by the way, today? What is happening in the world of college admissions? You made a comment that even A&M numbers, their count is high. So tomorrow's the first. Do I need to submit my application for A&M?
So great question, Dale. So actually, you guys, insider information. You can actually go into the Common App right now. It is 7:31, and let me tell you, you can go into the Common App. You can create your, if you have not created your profile yet, you can go in and create that right now. So I just want to make sure here. So on that dashboard, it actually looks a little different this year. So I'm excited. Oops, I'm excited about that. Everything over on that Common App side looks awesome, and we're super excited about it. So you can go in, complete your profile here. You can also add your colleges. These are just some of the schools that my students are applying to and what have you there. But you can also you can do a college search. So I have somebody on here who says, oh, Tanya from Lake Travis, welcome. So questions about college visits. Well, number one, we want to make sure that we are doing some of those college searches so that we know what the requirements are of those institutions. The other thing you want to make sure of is right now, go on those college visits. I can't tell you how important it is to go and walk the campus. Schedule those in-person visits. Make sure that you are meeting with the admissions office when you are doing those in-person visits. If you're not sure how to schedule those, okay, Dale, I'm like just jumping head first in here.
Go
But
for it.
if I want to go and visit Texas A&M in this Google search up here, I'm going to click on type in visit TAMU, visit UT Austin, visit Baylor, visit wherever. And then I'm going to go to their webpage here. It gives me a little bit of information on what that looks like. I can register for a visit right here on this page. Well, guess what? July's over. So, see all of these dates here in maroon and white? Those are the available dates. So you can go in there, schedule your visit. Maybe you want to go that Friday before school starts. Well, these are the different tours that are available. And so you want to make sure that you are scheduling those and get on that. Get on that. Make sure that you are walking the campus. You see here, May School of Business is doing a college visit here. So we want to make sure that you are getting your 2 feet on the ground at the campus. You may say, I really want to go to UT Austin, but are you ready to be in downtown Austin? Are you good with that? Are you good with that vibe? Are you good with that culture? Maybe you're like, nope, I'm a gig 'em all the way. And you want to make sure is howdy in your regular vocabulary. And how you're going to know that is literally by going to the campus. So, Tanya, thank you for asking that question about going and visiting colleges. If you're not able to go now, and you're a student, or those of you who are here as a student, and you're like, I have not had any time to go and do the visits, but I want to get my applications in, go ahead and submit your applications, right? Our window, we're looking at September 1st, is our push the button time, so that everything is submitted, our essays are done, our expanded resume is done for UT, our short answer questions are answered for each of the schools that we're applying to. We have our activities list that's already ready to go into our common application. Go ahead, submit your applications that September 1st timeframe, and then go make that trip. Make sure that that is the right fit for you. Because like we were talking about in our little Q&A, how Dale and I like to get these parties started, is make sure it's the right fit. Because applying to a lot of schools is okay, but that's a lot of writing that you're going to have to do. Make sure that you have done your research, you've been to the campus, and you've actually walked the campus. I can't emphasize that enough.
Yeah, definitely. Lampman asked a good question. Do we pay the application fee through the Common App? It's just a logistics question.
Absolutely, yes. So there is a portion in there when you are ready to go. So I'll just do the screen share again. So here, when you're ready to go in my colleges, I will just go right here to Texas A&M. You'll see review and submit your Common App. But guess what? I've got to go through all of these steps first before I can hit that submit button. And then right here, you're able to review. It's going to tell me, guess what, Melissa? You've got all of these things that you still have to do before you can actually pay for and submit your application. So yes, you will be paying for your application through the Common App.
And also before you end your screen share, can you show them where to find short answer questions? How does that work?
So we'll stay on Texas A&M. So you'll see all the different categories over here. This is actually the list that is in A&M's application. These are the items that you do have to complete. So I'm going to go right here to the writing section. And here it tells us, well, they're asking you about a specific essay prompt and 2 short answer questions. So this question about tell us your story, that's really your main essay. Your main primary tell me who you are, your personal statement. They have it up to 750 words. Average is about 650 to tell your story, show everybody, use those, use your imagery, right? And then they will tell you, describe a life event you feel has prepared you to be successful in college. Tell us about the person who's impacted your life most and why. I'm going to tell you, don't talk about Bezos, don't talk about Elon Musk. Talk about somebody who has genuinely touched your life and has made that huge impact. Now, for Texas A&M, they also have the scholarship section, and the scholarship section is embedded in the regular application. I stay with Texas A&M because guess what? Why are you choosing Texas A&M? You're really not going to know if you don't go to campus, right? You've got to have that personal interaction. Why have you chosen your academic major? Tell me why. Why do you want to go into engineering? Why do you want to be an electrical engineer? Why do you want to go into computer science? Talk to me about that. Okay. And then they have other questions. Regular questions down here, but describe any educational plans. What are your goals beyond your undergraduate studies? What are your life goals?
And just to reiterate, these are the scholarship questions.
Yes,
And I want everyone to pay attention to this because this is application is embedded inside the common application with the application for admissions, which means if you do not answer these questions and apply to Texas A&M, you are not able to log back in here later and do this
correct.
part. So for those of you that say we really want scholarships, pay attention to how much writing that you have and look at what you need to work on now, because if you keep kicking this can down the street, you're running the clock out with a university like A&M that has rolling admissions.
Absolutely. So you'll want to go in like with TCU. Guess what? Here's theirs. Their other information. Um, questions here. So you're really just choosing, I would like to submit an extension to my application. If we look at other schools like the University of Texas at Austin, you're going to look here as far as their short answer questions and the essay. So you're really looking for whether it says supplemental essay, short answer questions, or writing. And so here they'll tell you, why are you interested in this major as your first choice major? And then they have two short answer questions. So think of all the activities that you have been involved in, both in and outside of school, and why are you most proud of one of those
And,
activities?
and can
Okay.
you explain, Melissa, the recommenders in FERPA and what that and how to tag those recommenders, please? Since we're doing a
Absolutely.
technical overview, what is this?
So the recommenders and FERPA section, I am going to release my information. And so it just means that the recommenders, the individuals, my high school counselor, maybe an academic recommender. So those folks who are writing your letter of recommendation, maybe it's a club sponsor or you're involved in an activity outside of school. You want them to write your letter. And you are trusting those individuals to really write on your behalf. So you're going to click this checkbox and you're going to say, yes, I trust these folks. And so, boom, I'm going to waive my rights to my recommenders because I trust them. I don't need to read it. So, yes, I do. I understand. Melissa, today's date. Awesome. And then I save and close. Now, this is where I get to invite my recommenders. And so here I'm going to invite another recommender. I will need their email address. I'm going to need to know like what's their relationship to me. Okay, so you see all of the options that you have here. And then you're going to put in their information. Once you put in their information, pro tip here, do not let Common App be the first time that that individual is hearing about a letter of recommendation. This is where once you hit that add button, it goes live to those recommenders. So that's why I'm saying do not let Common App be the first point of contact to your recommenders.
Definitely. Awesome. Great. Bob asked a really good question. With a lot of higher ed using AI to screen applicants, how do you stand out from the algorithm? So I guess, at the end of the day, a teenager is going to sound like a teenager. And one thing AI cannot do is create. All right. It's good for repeating facts and referencing, and fixing typos and all that kind of stuff. But it's not a really good creator. And a teenager is always going to sound like a teenager. And as people that read essays all the time, we can tell when an essay has been really over edited.
Mhm.
Another thing that admissions officers are going to do, if they read this essay that is one of a kind, brilliant, oh my goodness, this thing is the most incredible thing I've ever read, they're probably going to look at that English grade as well and expect that the marks are going to match up with that. They're going to look at the SAT or the ACT, expect that the performance on that test is also going to align with the writing style and possibly even listen to the recommender. More than likely, it should come from the English teacher if your main essay is that much of a standout breakout. So there's different cues and that can signal that, look, this essay has either been purchased or it's been done by ChatGPT all the way. But good question, Bob. I think at the end of the day, colleges and universities, the admissions officers just want to hear an authentic voice. We don't have to make this complicated by any stretch of the imagination. We got a question. What if you choose another option on the recommenders, the alternate option to the ones you showed? Do you know what they're talking about?
Yeah, so you'll have another, if you scroll down on the recommender section, you'll have a teacher recommender. The other recommender is UT uses the other recommender, meaning it's not academic. And that would be where, like, your club sponsor or your scout leader, or maybe you did an internship this summer and you really connected with your supervisor. That's where that other recommender comes into play. They may have different insights outside of the classroom. They're also able to speak to your work ethic, maybe on the job site. So that's who that other recommender is. Okay.
Kalika's asking a great question. What's the earliest a child should start looking at the Common App? I mean, formally, you'll use this platform to submit your applications, but we have our freshmen and our sophomore create their accounts because there's some great resources embedded in that, right, Melissa? Like, what are some of the resources? So if you're a freshman or a sophomore, there's a whole host of cool things in there that you can use.
Absolutely. So if you go in here, let me do some more screen sharing, everybody. So as you go in here, you can do you could go to that My Colleges section, but also on this dashboard, you can do the college search. You also can go in and look at the folks who are in that direct admissions, what it looks like, what those fee waiver eligibilities are. So if you would qualify for a fee waiver, and then it's really going to help because I attended this session this week at, through College Board. This actually gives you a really good indicator of who is looking at you. And so by entering your information in the Common App early, they're also able to see, do you match what we are looking for? So also not only here, so you have the college search, you can go in, say, I want to see anything about Abilene Christian University. Guess what? I can go to their website. I can go to their admissions office. The biggest thing is going on this virtual tour. So if I don't have time yet, or I just want to check it out before I go in person, that virtual tour right here, or this college navigator. I'm going to share this because this was pretty cool when I was doing the college research workshop. You can see all of this information here is literally, it gives you all the details
At your
right
fingertips.
here. It is
Amazing.
so amazing. And you can see financial aid, what type of aid is available, the total awards. So we were talking about financial responsibility, right? Earlier, before we jumped on live and went through all of this. This is where you're able to see what are they awarding? How much grant and scholarship money are they awarding? This is pretty cool because you get to see all of the details here, wanting to know what's the cost of tuition, things like that. So this is a great tool and it's in the Common App. So you just have to go in there and look at those links together.
Melissa, sorry, before you close out your screen share, we got a question from a parent about the SAR, wanting to know. This is from Miguel, who's got a rising senior at LASA. They're interested in engineering. What's the SAR, and do we have to fill it out?
So the SAR, we'll just go here. Let's go to SRAR and self-reported transcript. So the SRAR is where you are actually taking your high school transcript and you are entering that information here um, into the platform. And when you are doing that, it is creating your account and it's actually taking into account what you are putting in. Your SRAR, it's you're doing the work for the university to see your transcript. And so when you do log in and create your account, you're able to go, uh-oh, I guess I forgot my password. But when you're going in and creating your account, this is really your high school transcript. The SRAR is used by, so who uses the SRAR? Well, here you can see which colleges accept it. And here, oh, nope, that's not what I wanted. Which colleges and universities accept. Oh, great. This is not what I was looking for. But you'll be able to see which colleges use it. Here's the list. So Baylor, a lot of your Florida schools, Texas A&M. So any of these schools that are listed here, they are going to use that SRAR so that you can enter your transcript information for them.
So this is important, everybody, because these are the colleges that have rolling admissions, many of them, and they don't need to wait on official transcripts from your high school to start reviewing those applications. They are reading and oftentimes deciding, especially on impacted majors early on. And so you can self-report though. So we recommend not only do you need to create your common application, but you need to look and see if there's a university you're applying to that will take the self-reported academic record, like A&M, like Florida schools, several Texas schools as well, UTSA, Texas Tech, list goes on. Clemson is in here as well. And get that application done and have your unofficial transcripts with you because everything has to line up exactly to a T. All those codes, that alphabet soup on the transcript, you need to sit carefully and look at this. Somebody's asking about Westlake. I never can say that word. Squire. How do you say it, Melissa? Can you answer that
Or
question? Can you answer
yeah,
that
so
question?
Square is the new Naviance that Westlake is using. And so they pair together, but you're actually going to be completing your applications in the Common App. So everything will go through the Common App. You'll be able to see the information in the Square account, but your applications are going to go through Common App
So they need to log into their Square account. That's
and pair it.
Naviance. It's the same thing as Power School.
Yep.
There's several things like that. And then they also need to have a common application account. And 9 times out of 10, Texas applicants need to have a SAR account created, or not to make it even more confusing, or STAR if you're applying to Texas A&M.
Yes.
It's a
Yep.
lot. There's a lot of moving parts here. I always say this time of year. How do people do this without having somebody work with them? Because I would never know to do all this. All right, let's move to some of the more basic questions. This is a parent and wanting to know Victor from LASA, who has a rising senior interested in data science. My son hasn't done much of any college research, and we don't even know how or where to apply. How do we know, or how do we know where to even apply? So, no research. How do we even know where to apply? So, how would you go about? How would you answer this? It's really two questions.
Yeah, so number one, I'd be looking to see which universities actually offer data science as a bachelor's degree. Some schools will only offer it as a graduate program, and so you want to make sure, let's do the Google search.
Um,
Who is offering a data science bachelor's degree program? And then if they're not offering that, what are they offering to supplement to go into that bachelor's degree so that you can go into the graduate program for a master's degree in data science. Once you get those two things going, then now let's start looking. What's the location? Are these the right climate match for you? Are they close in proximity? Can you go on a visit? Can you do the virtual tour through Common Application? Just so that you can get some more information on that.
especially with data science, because a lot of universities either one don't have that degree or two, it's master's only. In fact, we were working with somebody recently and they thought they were just going to apply, I think it was data science to all colleges. And I'm like, Texas State doesn't have it. What are you going to do about that one? I mean, like, so you do want to make sure, Victor, that your student is identifying the colleges and that they actually have the degree they're going to apply to.
Mhm.
Because that would be a big issue applying to a university for a degree that they don't even have. And the admissions officer are going to be able to see that. This is Chris from Round Rock High School, rising senior, and he's interested in pre law. What deadlines should we have on our radar right now? Good question.
Awesome. That's a great question.
Um,
So, number one, let's talk about a couple of things here. So, when we talk about deadlines, right? Number one, you want to make sure that you have enough time to get your writing complete. So, that main essay or your personal statement, 650 of your best words that are answering one of the six prompts in Common App. Yes, there are seven prompts. The seventh prompt is to write an essay on any topic of your choosing. Guess what? You've got six topics above that option. So, topic seven is really used for UT Austin. You also want to make sure that you have your action, not your action items, your activity list. Do we have our transcripts ready to go? Have we look at those short answer questions? And so do we have a resume? UT requires that expanded resume. Can you use a resume, that same one, for other universities? Absolutely. So when we're talking about deadlines, so it opens officially it opens tomorrow. I gave you the little teaser because it is open right now, but it officially opens tomorrow for Common App. I will tell you, with the schools that have rolling admissions, just means the sooner you get it in, they're going to start looking at your application. The longer you wait, the more seats that are now taken by other students. So for us, we look at September 1st as far as getting all of our applications submitted. We have all of our writing complete so that now, after September 1st, if we're applying to our California system schools, awesome. Now we can only concentrate on our California schools. But if you have submitted all of your Texas or your other schools across the country by September 1, you are now going to have the best senior fall ever.
yeah,
And your friends are going to be so jelly because they're going to be like, what did you do? How come you're not stressing out, over deadlines,
everybody
right?
sees it in the fall. They see all the seniors stressing out over this kind of stuff. Get it done. Not all applications are open right now. MIT, I think UIUC is not open.
Yeah.
The UC's University of California system. So you want to get a lot of that stuff done now and then make time in the fall if you're applying to any colleges that do open after 9/1, because a bottleneck can happen. And I just want to give a disclaimer because I know some of you are like, oh my God, September the 1st, how are you doing that? Well, Melissa, when did we start essay prep?
Oh, I started essay prep like at the holidays.
Yeah.
So December.
So that's why. That's how we do it, everybody. So if you're a rising junior and you're thinking, gosh, it would be nice to have applications finished by September the 1st, that's how we do it. We start essay prep at the end of the year, January is a good time to start as well. We really take our time. We kind of coast through it. We start doing prep work for the short answer questions in July. We look at the last year's prompts, predict what they're going to be, and then right now, the month of August is when we put any finishing touches on a main essay. And if we need to rewrite or reword anything for the short answer questions, this month is kind of like, hey, we're polishing everything. So that's
We're
why
putting the bow on the package so that it's ready to go. So now we can take those main essays, we can copy it out of our Google Doc and plug it right into Common Application because that writing piece is done.
yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah,
Nina, a Westlake parent who has a rising senior, sounds like their kid is still interested or may still be learning about majors, neuroscience. Nina says that she hasn't finalized the major yet. Is that going to hurt her chances? I'll let you answer this, but I just wanted to say, Nina, that's normal. A lot of teenagers don't know what they want to study. Neuroscience tends to be a low-hanging fruit because at Westlake, everyone's applying to the same colleges. They're attaching social value to specific majors like business, neuroscience, pre-med. It's just kind of part of the sauce that is in the Westlake community, you know. So it doesn't necessarily hurt, but what I will say is that the more selective colleges are going to be picky. They're going to want to make sure that there's that level of authenticity behind the major, and they're looking for authenticity by the experience, the breadth and depth of the experience within the major you're declaring. So it comes down a lot of times to GPA and the types of rigor you're taking in high school, the testing, and also clubs, organizations, activities, research, volunteerism, and all things. When you're applying to neuroscience, you need to have a lot of meat and potato on that dinner plate for that particular major. Would you agree, Melissa?
absolutely. And I can tell you, having had a student successfully accepted to UT Austin for neuroscience, um, we started this process a while back. She had some amazing activities. She was able to do some amazing internships and really had the connection with what she wanted to major in. That was our biggest one. Neuroscience, when she was applying for that, that was our biggest one. The other ones were more in the public health or in the health sciences. But neuroscience at UT, we
Yeah,
put a lot of time and effort into those short answer questions, into her activity list, her expanded resume. What were we going to highlight? Because you only get 2 to 3, a total of 7 minutes, really, to showcase everything about your application. And so we really wanted to highlight the things that they had participated in on that expanded resume and put the most important things at the top.
definitely.
Right? Yeah.
Someone's asking about resources for picking majors. Did you lead the career exploration workshop? I can't, is that you?
Yes.
You did.
Yes.
Okay. So we have this awesome 2 hour hands-on intensive for scholars, and it is a career exploration workshop where they get to learn about their strengths, their interests, their aptitudes. It's a great activity for rising freshmen and sophomores because that's really what you want to do those first 2 years of high school is start learning about yourself so that the junior year there's validation about what you want to do. But some of the resources, Melissa, what are some of the resources that we recommend teenagers for career exploration?
Yeah, so I can tell you there's a lot of free resources that we use, we incorporate into our career exploration workshop. One of them is the ONET. And if you just Google ONET, it is literally a personality interest inventory, and it is going to help give you your personality traits and what careers match your personality traits. Those career fields then lead into the major that will then lead into university or college options. But you want to start with that. It's a backwards design, if you will. Think about what career field, what career path you want to go into. The other thing I can tell you, and I have incorporated this with all my students, freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and my rising seniors, is do some informational interviews. You have friends. Your parents have friends. You have your parents even. What industry are they in? What careers do they have? And then start asking the questions. How did you get interested in this field? Where did you go to college? Can I come in to do a job shadow with you, a day shadow with you? These are some of the options and the opportunities that we discuss in our career exploration workshop. And literally, the kids who are doing those informational interviews, they gain so much insight. Well, why did you decide to go to UT Austin? How come you didn't go elsewhere? Why did you land on University of Michigan when you could have gone to UNC Chapel Hill? Like, those conversations give you so much more value and more insight than sometimes just doing the research online, because you have firsthand knowledge from somebody who actually has gone through it and is living the dream right now that you think you want to go into.
One of my favorite, and we include this in our resources, but it's U Science. It's an
Hmm.
aptitude diagnostic in which you can complete questions, and then there'll be a presentation of careers, majors, environments that are a good fit for you. So U Science is an incredible resource. And then also UT has my majors, which is
Oh,
great.
yes.
Latman is asking, what if I'm auto admit? Do I have to really do the essays and get recommendations? Oh my God. I feel like auto admit actually raises the bar because a lot of universities know you could be a little bit cocky and ego and try to throw this whole thing, and they could sack you into an undeclared major. Auto admit means there's an expectation that your application should read, and we're looking for that expectation. If you are in the top 5% of your high school class, your essays should read like a 5%er. Your short answer questions should read like a 5%er. And I've seen that before, where especially a school like UT, if you just throw the whole thing and bomb the testing and throw together an essay, why did I get undeclared liberal arts? Well, because did you see how you presented yourself? Everybody, for colleges that have a holistic review, 100% of everybody will go through that process. It just means there's a better odd. The odds can be more in your favor to get some of those more impacted majors. It's still game on. You're just basically doing a little bit of a flex and saying, look at how I stand out within the applicant pool at my high school, right? As a lead school counselor, Melissa, wouldn't you agree? I mean, got to take it seriously.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You want them to take you seriously. You're not going to submit the main essay. You're not going to submit the letters of recommendation. They want to see how you take that level of responsibility, how you're going to perform, right? And so you want to make sure that you're putting your best foot forward, because guess what? Just because you're in the auto admit doesn't mean that you're going to get the major that you chose as your first choice major. So, and it's huge. You want to make sure that you are putting your best foot forward with this application, and that includes everything, not just the application through Common App, not just sending your transcript, not just throwing together your short answer questions or your main essay. Maybe I throw in a couple of my activities. No, they want to see how serious you are with this application, because they want to take you seriously, but they won't if you don't take it seriously.
Definitely. Greg, who is from within your school district, Melissa Vandegrift, as a rising senior, kids interested in chemistry, pre-med, wanting to know about scholarships and what that process is. So it's really twofold. One, you got to focus on getting the admissions submitted first, and then you pivot and focus on the application for scholarships. Institutional aid, Greg, if you just Google search freshman scholarship Baylor or freshman scholarship Texas Christian University, whatever colleges you're applying to, a lot of times they'll have an entire page for those freshman scholarships. But careful, because as Melissa demonstrated earlier, some scholarship applications are embedded with the university inside the common application, such as Texas A&M. Easily overlooked, not required to submit with the application for admissions. And a lot of folks are concerned when they realize, oh my gosh, I missed that. I'm going to go over some other resources real quick. But before I do that, I also want to remind everybody, for those seniors, housing applications. Get it submitted, especially for those colleges that struggle with freshman housing, like Arkansas A&M, one year they ran out towards the end. UT requires, if you want to live on campus at UT, submit your application for housing after you've submitted your application for admissions. And they'll put you, they'll timestamp your application. And then once you're admitted, then you have housing. But if you wait to submit an application for housing for UT after you've been admitted, there's a chance you may not have housing at UT. So look at the housing requirements. Make sure that you speak with a professional about that, because the last thing you want is for your kid to get admitted into a university and then the university say, we're full for housing. You get to pay for an expensive off-campus apartment now, which is not great, by the way. You want to live on campus, but housing, you want to follow those guidelines. Melissa did actually launch the poll. You guys, there's actually 4 reasons why a lot of folks come to us for guidance with college planning. One is because we are local Austinites. We are in the community. We are working with high schools like Vandegrift, Cedar Park, Westlake, Westwood, Bowie, Go Dogs. I mean, we know the high schools and the grading scales, which is so important. Austin is competitive. There's no way to get around it. You guys believe in education, probably because UT's in our backyard. But we've been part of the community for over 8 years. So we're not just some pop-up shop. We actually have been here for a while. Another reason why a lot of families turn to us, as you could see from a lot of the questions, a lot of folks in this town are applying to STEM majors, business, neuroscience, chemistry, looking at pre-med programs, looking at computer science, those within engineering, and this is our niche. This is our specialty. So while we do work with folks of all backgrounds, our jam is going to be those majors, heavy math and heavy science. I would say another reason why a lot of folks turn to us are essay prep services, best in class. They really are, everybody. When it comes to getting admitted into these competitive places, a lot of people have got great stats. It's the essays. It's the culmination of how you are being packaged and presented to an admissions officer when the odds aren't in your favor for one of those few precious seats. Our essay prep services are incredible. And we have add-ons, research projects, test prep, all of this. So want to go over a couple of things for you before we wrap up. Make sure that you do answer the poll, because we do have a live poll right now. Now, for those of you that are looking for the next event that we do have, then you can go onto our website under the free events tab, and you'll be able to see that we actually have a presentation from our masterclass. Our masterclass is normally not open to the public, but we're going to open up this presentation to the public next Tuesday, August the 5th, how to work with your high school counselor. What is their role? When do you start engaging with them? What happens if your high school counselor changed for your senior year and you need that letter of recommendation? So we'll be discussing all things. This is presented from the masterclass series. College admission essays. I know I got rising seniors on here. You guys make sure that you do tune in to this presentation next Thursday. I can't believe it's going to be next Thursday. It is August the 1st tomorrow, on the college admission essays with Bonnie. So definitely take a look at our free programming. And hey, we'd love to meet you for coffee. John is going to be meeting with folks at the More Than a Teacher office in Westlake. And this is just a coffee chat, an opportunity to meet up with John, have coffee, bring your questions, totally free. But of course, space is limited. And then we would love to meet you as well in person. We'll be at the West Bank Library. John will be at the West Bank Library presenting on UT and A&M. And that's on Saturday, September the 30th or 20th. And again, seating is limited. So definitely register for those in-person events. I do want to touch on just briefly the Flex Prep option plans. Many of you often have questions about hiring us and how much our fees are and all that good stuff. Well, seniors, if you just need help with the main essay, that's it. A la carte, main essay. You got everything else. We currently have a flash sale on the main essay package. It's only $4.99. Normally it's $5.99, but this is $4.99. It also includes a 2.5 hour hands-on intensive. So you'll get to attend a live group workshop. You'll get to see examples of essays that are awful, examples of essays that are great, and have conversations about yours. Plus, there is one-on-one coaching available. We also bundle a lot of those workshops together. And if you're a rising senior, our masterclass plus program is 2,000, normally 4,000, but you get access to all of our group workshops. And then we have a masterclass basic plan, which is $60 a month. This is ideal for freshmen, sophomores, or rising juniors. Every month you get programming with action items and reading material and even a workbook too. So $60 a month, enroll anytime, cancel at any time, no contracts. Hey, that's awesome, right? Now, many of you often want to know about our packages. How do we work with you on a more comprehensive basis? That would be with me. So you would want to go to our website, book that 30-minute discovery call, and then we do require your student to be present for that as well. But this is where we'll discuss our pricing, our packages, our fees, our add-ons. We have research projects that you can add on. We have test prep that you can add on in person and virtual, by the way, as well as our coaching and all of that good stuff. I will tell you, seniors, I literally just discounted the Rising Senior Package. This is not going to go any lower. So it is a good time to inquire on that if you think you need help with any of that. So again, you can just go to the Contact Us button up here and book a 30-minute discovery call with me. You can look at our Flex Prep options for more either budget-friendly or DIY options. And then as always, we would love to meet you as well at one of our free events too. So go ahead and go online and take a look at that. Okay, Melissa, we got hopefully we have some responses in the Q&A. People are feeling overwhelmed. 50% of you guys said you're feeling overwhelmed. I'm very sorry to hear that. Don't. I think that you can combat that with knowledge.
Mhm.
And the stress and the anxiety about this happens when you don't know what to do and you're having to make decisions, high stakes decisions. So that can be a bit scary. Question number two, what are the three biggest pieces of writing that are needed for your application? Everybody got this, right? I feel like this is almost a trick question, though. I feel like all of it. Is it?
Maybe.
What's the
The
answer?
biggest piece of writing are going to be your main essay, your activity list, and your resume. Yes, the application does have the writing pieces, but I'm talking about the external things that you would have to complete before you are able to put it into your application.
Nice. All right, one of the last questions. Have you started your college applications? We actually have a good portion of the group that are almost done. That's amazing. 50% of the group said they're almost done with their applications. I'm assuming that you're just really waiting on the short answer questions to confirm what those are going to be. And that's a very good place to be because you want to go through this process without rush and feeling confident and also feeling competitive at the same time. Melissa, any parting words, any last pieces of advice for you?
Yeah, you guys don't feel overwhelmed. This, to be honest, this is actually a really good time for you to get started. School has not started yet. You still have 2 weeks before school actually kicks off. Yes, I said it, the countdown is on. But this is a great time for you to take the time to start working on that main essay, get your activity list together, get that resume done. And then check out the schools, but definitely walk the campus, meet with your admissions advisor. Can't emphasize that enough. But you guys have time. Don't feel like this is a race to the finish. This is kind of a journey, and that journey is eventually going to end.
I
So,
think I think that awesome. Love the advice. I think my last two pro tips is one, have a balanced college list. A balanced college list is going to save the day, keep the anxiety at bay. Number two, submit that I don't care what anybody says. Y'all better hear me out here. Submit that application when you feel good about it. We are not racing the clock. We don't need to submit at midnight tonight to A&M. You hold on to that application and you submit it when you actually feel your story has been told, that your interests have been, you've been able to highlight your interests all over that application. You won't get a second chance in this process, and nobody wants to have any regrets. And your degree will be part of your life for forever. This is a really big gift. Your bachelor's degree is the most expensive gift your dear mom and father will ever give you. You want to get this part right. We hope to see you at a future presentation, everybody. Thanks for all of the questions. Oh my God, we got so many of them, and they were great ones. So y'all have a wonderful afternoon. And if you want to prepare, apply, and achieve with us, let us know. Bye-bye.